This 3 set of posters should tell you all you need to know about Disney and Marvel's opinion about the Thunderbolts. Oh, guys, it's really good because it addresses mental illness. It's so deep and meaningful how Yelena just goes home to nobody and drinks vodka and scrolls through social media. It's just like me. And then you take a look at the box office and realize that trying to appeal to the modern audience is working out about as well as every other time the big studios have tried to appeal to the modern audience. Spoilers, the modern audience doesn't exist. But yeah, going from the Thunderbolts to the New Avengers to, hey, just wait a couple of weeks and Lilo and Stitch will come out. You can remember something from your childhood. It won't even be nearly as good as the thing that you remember from your childhood, but hey, the CGI at least doesn't look bad, okay? It'll be a movie that comes out that doesn't hate me. How much other cope are we going to have about the Thunderbolts, New Avengers, whatever the hell it is? I don't really know, man, but you know, you can call it whatever you want, because in a couple weeks time, yeah, when Lilo and Stitch, when Mission Impossible Final Reckoning come out, ain't nobody gonna remember the Thunderbolts, which is exactly what Marvel wants you to do with their next upcoming product, okay? Because we got Ironheart on the horizon. I know, right? It's coming out next month, the tail end of next month. And it's so funny, right? Like, we know virtually nothing about this, and it's not like people are really, excited about this. I'm sure that there are like literally 6 or 7 people out there that, their favorite Marvel character is Riri Williams because she is the embodiment of Marvel, all new, all different, and the entire thought process behind tanking that industry, okay? She is the diversity hire brought on to replace a beloved character, and she does everything better. She is stronger, faster, smarter than her male counterpart, and she can do it in heels. It is everything that people are now finally coming around to acknowledging is totally insufferable about modern entertainment, all wrapped up in a suit made from a box of scraps in a cave. But we'll get back around to that very shortly. But yeah, like I said, we know virtually nothing about Ironheart, okay? Outside of a release date, which I don't even know where that ended up getting leaked. But yeah, the tail end of June, the 24th or 6th. We'll get clarification on that very shortly. But as for official marketing material, well, you already seen what Marvel cares about moving on to next thing, and a whole bunch of press around Fantastic Four is going on right now, but they just kind of want you to forget this, okay? This is something that, okay, just rumors, you got to take this with a bucket of salt, okay? They were looking to scrap this, get rid of it, okay? They were trying to Batgirl this project, but they would have incurred, Disney would have incurred way too many penalties. There were way too many contracts already on the books that they would have to pay out to the actors and the production people and all of the creatives, which saying anything that's, creative coming out of the MCU recently is a laugh and a half in and of itself. But yeah, there were way too many penalties to pay out, and they just thought, screw it, we'll just release it at the tail end after we announced that, yep, the Thunderbolts, guys, that is the end of Phase 5 in the theaters, but it's not the actual end of it. So they can go ahead and champion, yep, we closed out Phase 5 on a high note. More on that tomorrow. Now we can just look forward to the future. We can look forward to a future and build it on a foundation of a planet that is going to get destroyed by Galactus. And then you're going to have 4 losers come over to our planet that is just about to get destroyed and reset again. Looking forward, huh? Everything's going to be so great. Fantastic Four. Can't wait for that. But no, we got a little bit of a pit stop a couple of weeks ahead of that release, with running back to this once again. No trailer, not even an announcement as to how this is going to release. I imagine it's going to be weekly. But we've also seen another project that was also treated to the same type of production hell and the same lack of marketing in the run-up. This was very much made in the same model as Echo was. It came out last January. Anybody remember? But yes, another project that had been made for years at this point in time that Marvel had been sitting on, not really knowing what to do with it. And hell, Echo was such an afterthought. They made a separate Marvel Studios. Remember Marvel Searchlight? Of course you don't, because nobody watched those 5 Echo episodes, which was initially supposed to be 8, then trimmed down to 6, and then further trimmed down to 5, and then just batch released in the second week of January? Bruh. So what are they going to be doing with Ironheart? How many episodes is this going to be? What's your release schedule? Is it going to be dumped all at once? Is it going to come out weekly? Is there going to be little mini arcs? Are you guys going to do that where you're going to have 2 or 3 episodes at a time coming out? Nobody knows anything about this, but apparently there's a trailer release date reportedly revealed, and we're going to be getting some type of marketing. Ironheart is a Disney Plus's, is a Disney Plus series that has been in development since, before the character first appeared in the MCU and Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, another movie that nobody remembers. At the tail end of 2022, Riri Williams is the woman behind the suit, played by Dominique Thorne. A new rumor states that the first full trailer for Ironheart will be released this May. I would have to think so. However, you should take this one with a grain of salt. Nexus Point News is reporting this alleged release date, but doesn't refer to any source of any kind, including sources that do not wish to be named. Well, another user on X asked them what their source was. They very simply replied, us. Okay. Ironheart has spent the past month pretty much entirely out of the news cycle. A lot of fans expected the series to be canceled before there was a few seconds of footage shown during the Disney Plus, a general sneak peek, which you can check out. The practical suit, it was on full display, which I guess that's from. I actually don't care because honestly, man, outside of it just being superly festoon with the message being hyper cringe, it's probably not going to... I guess it does. It really does have the potential of being omega cringe, but given the fact that Dominique Thorne didn't get one of the chairs on the first chair stream, which there's probably going to be another stupid chair stream for Avengers Doomsday before that all comes out. Dominique Thorne is another one of the rumored names that's out there, but maybe Marvel, in their infinite and shifting wisdom, is thinking, I'll just wait and see what the numbers look like on Ironheart before we really make a decision whether or not to cast replacement Iron Man. But hey, good news, everyone. We have our first bit of information. God, that helmet looks so stupid. Motherfucker has cornrows on your Iron Man helmet, bruh. But anyways, waiting to see what the temperature looks like after this series gets released, whether or not, we want to have any more cringe, not quite Avengers come along. But Marvel uses Robert Downey Jr. to sell Ironheart ahead of Disney Plus release. No, it's not something as explicit as RDJ coming out and go, guys, hey, listen, I'm doomed now, so the mantle of Iron Man needed to be passed on to somebody else, and who better to do it than a spiteful little black girl living on the south side of Chicago, who, as she said in Wakanda Forever, you'll have to take my word for it because nobody remembers that film, but hey, the clip is out there if you're so inclined, was asked in class, who she wanted to be, and when she was laughed at by her teachers and her classmate for saying she wants to be Tony Stark, developed her own Iron Man suit at home with less technological experience than Tony Stark, because hey guys, Riri Williams is so much better than Tony Stark. Just trust us. Why does nobody like Ironheart? Because she was just given everything, and she's just naturally amazing to begin with. Oh, where have we seen this before? Oh, every other time that the MCU has decided to bring in a female replacement for a character. Fantastic. Explains why Riri is more remarkable than Tony Stark. This has gone over so well in the comics that now we're just bringing everything into the cinematic side of things. But Marvel is invoking the name of RDJ in an attempt to justify its upcoming Ironheart series. Marvel's Ironheart is gearing up to close out Phase 5 of the MCU on Disney Plus, and the studio appears to be going into full damage control ahead of its premiere. Despite fans still scratching their heads over the inclusion of the Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, Marvel is now rolling out legacy name drops, strategic comparisons, and emotional appeals in a thinly veiled attempt to build hype. Are we talking about Ironheart or Avengers Doomsday here? In the new feature with Empire, Dominique Thorne, who plays Riri Williams, Ironheart, recounted her brief encounter with RDJ, describing the interaction as exciting, exchanging where the actor gave her a few words of encouragement and literally 2 thumbs up. The story is being framed by Marvel as some kind of symbolic torch-passing moment. The article declares Riri and Tony Stark being spiritually linked in the MCU, which Yeah, it's so funny, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah, he gave me an encouragement and 2 thumbs up. So was this just kind of like a passing meeting in a hallway? And she's like, oh, hi, it's so nice to meet you. Maybe she was really nice. I don't know anything about Dominique Thorne, kind of like everybody else. Maybe she's a nice lady. I have no idea. I'm not going to say anything bad about her because she hasn't said, at least to my knowledge, hasn't said anything bad about the fans, has just carried herself relatively well, as far as I know. Like, I haven't heard anything in good news. No news is good news, okay, in current entertainment, so... Maybe she's just simply relaying a conversation that she had in passing, and RDJ is like, oh, you're going to be Ironheart. It's kind of like Iron Man, and that's great. And he's like, okay, thumbs up on the way by. And it's like, oh, that's great news. Hey, best of luck. Maybe that's the extent to it. And yeah, the way that Empire is going about this is, oh my God, because Robert Downey Jr. is coming back to Marvel. Oh, and he gave her a seal of approval. That means that the Ironheart's going to be great. Sure. There's another quote that's raising eyebrows. Thorne compared her character's background with Tony Stark's. She's dumpster diving, whereas Tony Stark was a bajillionaire. What she's able to accomplish is remarkable. But again, what was it that Obadiah Stane, Jeff Bridges, said back in 2008? Tony Stark built a suit with a box of scraps in a cave. He built the Mark I Iron Man suit. Yeah, under the nose of terrorists. No. Riri, just an incredibly gifted black girl, could make magic happen with a soldering iron by dumpster diving. Okay. Yeah, as is pointed out, legacy can't be manufactured. Hey, you guys like Tony Stark, and Tony Stark, the actor that plays him, gave the thumbs up to Riri Williams. Okay, Dominique Thorne. So that means basically, an Iron Man and Ironheart, they're basically the same thing. So because you guys like the Iron Man, you like the Ironheart, and if you don't, it's because you're racist and sexist. I can't wait for that stuff, man. What was it, this time last year? Well, by the time that Ironheart comes out, we were having the exact same conversations. It was just all about the Acolyte, and now we get to run it back for Ironheart. It's just, it's not nearly going to be as important, or it's not nearly going to be as popular. I can just about guarantee that, yes. But hey, we got a little bit of insight as to what we can expect. There was a rumor going around a little while ago as to, okay, what's this ill-begotten show supposed to be about? Okay, who's going to be the antagonist, and ultimately, what type of additional world building, and who's ultimately going to be, hurt by this story? Because every other Disney Plus show has gone on to, leave its mark on the MCU, for better, not much better, and for worse, for a lot worse, for a bunch of the world building, as well as a bunch of the characters. So who's going to get drug into this, and who's ultimately going to get put through the ringer? Well, apparently, Mephisto. If you thought it was baffling to include Riri Williams in Wakanda Forever, bringing in Mephisto, one of the seminal Marvel villains, for this forgettable slop is... well, it's something, okay? As previously reported by several reliable sources as well as the trades, Sacha Baron Cohen will portray Mephisto in Ironheart. Oh, interesting. Mephisto will be the big shadowy villain of the show, as he will give Parker Robbins his iconic magical cloak and turn him into the villain, the Hood. So Ironheart has to defeat the Hood. She got up out it only to take it on. New information reveals that Mephisto actually owns a huge tech company, which will be headquartered in the X-Avengers Tower, which Tony owned a few years ago, but was also purchased in the Thunderbolts by stupid Elaine from Seinfeld. So I guess that's gonna work its way. They were both in Wakanda Forever. Okay. Currently unknown whether Tony sold the tower willingly, or if maybe Mephisto magically forced him to. Yeah, because it was all cleared out in Spider-Man Homecoming. I don't think there was ever a proper resolution to that, nor was there really needed to be elaborated upon. Mephisto will appear as a businessman in human form for the majority of the series, and will only take his real demonic form in certain scenes. The reason he employs Parker Robbins and turns him into the Hood is to help him steal Riri Williams' technology, but it's currently unknown what his motivation and end goal is. God, if they just won off Mephisto in the fucking Ironheart series, you guys deserve all of the failure that you have wrought upon yourself and are about to reap in the future. We'll ultimately have to see how stupid this is, because Like I said at the beginning, this series could ultimately be completely and totally inconsequential, or it has the possibility of hurting and defaming Tony Stark and Iron Man right ahead of his eventual return in Doomsday and definitely Secret Wars. It'll be one to watch. I just don't think there's going to be too many people watching it. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.